I'll find it too. A little slow on my end. I think we're live. Let me get off of here and go into. All right, guys, we're live. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Gamerz Realm. And I am your moderator for tonight, Mr. Switch, Nintendo Power Life. I'm followed by my co-host. I got Retro Styles.
What's up, everybody?
Black Pokemon Trainer.
What's going on, everybody?
One Up, Level Up.
How's it going, everyone?
And the QA Ninja.
Hey y'all, how's it going?
Guys, give me 1 second. All right, sorry guys, I had to turn off a volume that was on my end here. All right, and we have our special guest tonight, Nintendo of America Ambassador, Tech and Fitness Junkie, lover of gaming, gadgets, and pop culture. We got Ray Strazdas.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Glad to have you aboard. It's just kind of, just by seeing your YouTubing and everything that you do, I had to have you on here. It's an honor to have you here. I'm excited. I'm quite nervous right now myself, but just like, oh my God, we got Ray, just kind of chips me out a little bit. So I'm just trying to hold it on here together. And I want to start off by asking you a few questions and, know more about you, Ray. And I want to first ask you, so, tell us your life story, your gaming story, how it all began, and right after that, your favorite game of all time.
Yeah, so my first system was the Nintendo 64. I got it for my dad when I got my tonsils out. So he kind of like bribed me as a way to like go to the hospital and, get that done. And I came home to the N64, got Mario Kart 64, first video game that I've ever played. And since then, I've been hooked. I got to say, though, my favorite video game of all time is definitely Diddy Kong Racing. Arguably the best N64 game of all time. It's still one that sticks with me. The soundtrack is great. It's just a blast to play. I really wish that we would have a remake of it. So much fun.
Oh, yeah, remake would be quite awesome. I wish they would do that, too, as well.
Well, they did the DS one, but more modern one. Switch.
Something more for our Switch or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And let's say the moment you became a Nintendo ambassador, like how can you lay down for us?
It's kind of a little surreal because you grow up with these video games that really have a big impact on your childhood, and like it's kind of a distraction from like what's going on. If you don't have too many friends, like I was always that awkward kid in school, so I always had video games to like come home to as like my settling place. So to be able to work with the company that made my childhood so amazing was just incredible, and the fact that I still get to do it is really just still mind-blowing to me. It really is. It's nuts.
Awesome. I would say the most proudest moment of your life, even if it doesn't have to be gaming, it could be just anything.
Yeah, I think it would have to be that, becoming a Nintendo brand ambassador. It's just one of those things that like it comes full circle, because video games were such a big part of my childhood and still are such a big part of my life. They were always there for me. It's something that I could always fall back on. And just to have that full circle moment was surreal.
Okay. This one's kind of something I've been asking everyone. With the pandemic and protesting going around, has it been affecting at all your channel or the way you do things with your recording or when you're producing some media for, again, your channel? Has it been affecting you at all? Or?
Yeah, with the pandemic, most definitely, because I actually work full time as well. So now I'm working from home full time. And now I basically have that to do, and I have the channel too. So I'm kind of like in the same place all the time. So it kind of feels like I'm always working nonstop. With the protests and everything like that, I grew up in the thick of it, in the diverse areas, things like that, and I've always loved everybody, and that's like how I'm like struggling to like word things a little bit, to like get my point across, where I stand with everyone and I stand for what's right, for basic human rights.
Yeah, it's kind of been I say affecting a lot of people in the way we do things, and right now I don't even have a job, and it's just I try to do what I can. I got to take care of Luigi, and white lady she works hard, and she's got to work from I think she produces sends food orders and things like that, and I just got to do my part. I want to do more live streams when I can, or do more, but at times I cannot, because it's just I got other things to take care of, and just try to put in the gaming part too if I can, podcasting,
Right.
live streaming, things like that.
Right. And that's the one thing I would add a little bit more too, is that I'm looking for ways to use my platform to do some good, to help out people whenever they're in need. Because a lot of people always helped me when I was that Yankee or lanky, awkward kid, back in school. They helped me. So I want to go back and do what I can to help everyone now that I have this platform to do that.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but I think I had a question here. Is the first game you've ever played,
Ever played was Mario Kart 64.
Mario Kart 64? Okay.
Yep, that was when I got my consoles out and the N64.
That's right.
One
Paper
of the
Mario.
best
Go ahead.
ever. One of the best Mario Karts ever, in my opinion. N64.
Oh, without a doubt. I can still go back and play it. I actually just downloaded it on the Wii U last weekend.
Oh, cool. And
Oh,
Diddy
man.
Kong Racing. That's my favorite too.
I
Yes.
just got Mario Kart 64 a few weeks ago, and it's just kind of I still haven't had a chance to play it again. I got Diddy Kong was the first one I got after rebuying the 64, and so I'm just trying to I wish we can get it all on the Switch, but I like playing it originally on its original console, and it feels better.
Right.
It feels original. So I
Right.
think the
Yep.
the last major question that I have is with the Paper Mario Origami King, do you think, how it just popped out, it just came out of the blue, it surprised us, we were excited, it was awesome, but do you think Nintendo has any other big surprises coming out? Do you think there's a direct or anything? We keep hearing yes, no, or no, more no, and what is your feel on that? You think there's some big things coming for us or from Nintendo?
I would say yeah, because E3 was supposed to happen next week. So I think with that being out of the question, they probably had a direct schedule. So I would assume that there's things in the works. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more like surprise drops in the next month or the next month after that, because the holiday season's coming up and there's really not much that we know about. So I would say there's some things that we know of.
I think maybe Nintendo, anyone who's a lot of things have been pushed back in terms of because of the pandemics. They probably would have had maybe direct or things more announced for us. But yeah, I'm sure that if anything happens, I feel like sometimes I feel overwhelmed. When are they going to bring something? But I have to remember that these times are tough. They may not everyone's at work right now. I think they just got back people to fix. I think you can now send your games or something to get fixed, or your systems. I don't know what you call them. People that work in there, they fix your games. Nintendo.
The repair centers, right?
The repair center. I know that they I heard they just got back to work. You can start sending those out, but for those who need help fixing something. Other than that, let's get into some conversation with the guys too. Black Pokemon Trainer, you have some Pokemon news.
Yes, so June 2nd, if you guys are Pokemon gamers, it was a pretty big day. What we've been given in January is the fact that we have 2 new DLCs coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield, which are the newly released Pokemon games. On June 2nd, they dropped a trailer for their first DLC that's going to come out. And not only did they drop a trailer, they dropped a release date. So on June 17th, which is a little less than 2 weeks from now, we're going to be graced with the presence of the Isle of Armor DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I'm super excited for it. Mainly because there's a lot of new Pokemon coming in, and I'm primarily a shiny hunter with Pokemon, which takes tons of grinding, hours sometimes. Sometimes you can get lucky and it can happen in minutes. Sometimes it takes a month before you get a shiny Pokemon, but there's a lot of new Pokemon that they're bringing back from previous games into the DLC, so that's exciting. Brand new story, brand new legendaries, brand new battle towers. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot going on, and this is just within the first DLC. And the second DLC is going to be awesome, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. So what I've been doing since since the announcement, now that I know that certain Pokemon are going to be in the new DLC, is I've actually been shiny hunting for Pokemon in previous games. So I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I've been playing Sun and Moon, which is for the 3DS, in hopes to be able to catch shiny Pokemon. And when the DLC releases, I can port them over already there, so I can do my playthrough. And when I do my playthroughs, like on YouTube, when I play through live, I always use shiny Pokemon when I'm going through the story. So I want to make sure that before the DLC comes out on June 17th, that I am completely prepared. Not sure if any of you guys are huge Pokemon fans, but this is a big thing for me. I've been waiting for a very long time, especially since I felt like they gave us news about it too early, because January seemed like it was forever ago. But a lot of people on my channel are excited. I did a reaction to the trailer, and I'm excited. It's going to be good times, guys.
Great, very good. Let's see. The QA Ninja, did you have any questions or something you want to add in there?
Yeah, definitely. Something for me, like I'm really a big fan of your channel too. I've been following your YouTube channel for a little bit of time now, and I do have some questions like regarding so for me, one thing I really noticed that you're really good with like your presentation and just the way you go about it. Like on your YouTube platform, like when did you realize, or was there ever a point when you realized, wow, I could really like take this full time as a YouTuber, and I could realize I could be really successful with it as a YouTube content creator?
Yeah, so I've been doing it for, I would say 10 years or so. I've definitely jumped between different channels and things like that. I started out with WWE stuff, actually, wrestling
Nice.
stuff. So I talked
Nice.
I talked about replica belts and things like that. If you scroll all the way back to my channel, you'll see like original like belt videos, world heavyweight belts and things like that. They were very cringeworthy looking at it now, but they were doing very, very well. I met a lot of awesome people doing that. But then I went off to college at the time, and I got into doing short films and things like that. So those did okay. People don't really search up short films and things like that. And once I started getting back into like tech and the games and things like that, things just started like snowballing for me. And I wouldn't say I'm the most successful creator still, but I do what I can. And I think there is a point where maybe in the coming months, that it could be a full-time thing.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Any other questions on QA?
That's awesome. Thank you. I mean, any advice for, content creators on the come up? Any advice that you would give us or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I would say just stay consistent. Just have a passion for what you do. Love the content that you make, and even if it's not the most high quality, I started somewhere. Then I started honestly selling things on eBay, and then I bought myself a good camera. And then I started doing the same thing, but it upped the quality of it.
Yeah.
So I would say stay consistent, love what you do, and just enjoy it. It's fun.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, no sweat.
I want to piggyback off of something that Ray said and the advice that he gave on growing your channel and doing your things on YouTube. One thing that was actually really toxic for me was comparing myself to others. When growing your channel and trying to make your content, that's something you really do have to eliminate, because you're out here trying to do something for you, and whatever anybody else does, how many subscribers somebody else has shouldn't affect what you do, because it'll harm the quality of the content that you're putting out, and because people will be able to see that you're not having fun and whatnot. So when you're out there, just do you, have fun, and don't focus on anybody else but yourself.
Very
Yes,
good.
I applaud that. I applaud that.
Very
And you're the
good.
perfect
That's a good
example
one.
for that, Black Mirror, as well, because since you've been focusing on Pokemon, I've noticed your channel has been doing a lot better. You're getting a lot more consistent viewers, a lot more consistent subscribers and stuff. And I've been enjoying your videos too. I'm not interested in Pokemon at all, but I do enjoy your content. I've been trying to get into a series, but I just can't find a liking for Pokemon, but that's okay. It's not for everybody.
Exactly. I mean, there's series that I'm not into too that people just absolutely love. I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. I really like that. That's really good advice. I think for me, as a small YouTuber, I didn't really start with any real goal. I think my thing was I just wanted to help people out, with questions that they had in retro gaming. And I think I started just, making it where I try not to take it too seriously and just started just to have fun. As cliche and corny as it sounds, just, try to have fun. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't successful, at least you enjoyed what you were doing instead of trying too hard. And I think it kind of
Right.
worked for me because I try to just let my own personality shine and kind of be my own inner nerd, so to speak. So I think that helped a little bit, but yeah, just, have a good time with it, and network. I think that's always a good thing too.
Right. Yeah, to add a little more
2 a.m.
to that is I had a big passion for, or I still do, for filmmaking and video production. So that's what I went to school for. And I really enjoyed like the short films that I did, and they didn't do hot at all online. I just loved to do them because they were a lot of fun. So, I mean, I'm not a numbers guy. I don't like judge anything by how it does online. Like I just do whatever's in my mind. So just stick to what you love.
Yeah.
Be passionate about it.
I think for myself, during the past, let's say, couple months, I see myself. I'm too worried about it. I see myself like I'm hitting like a plateau. There's nothing really going on. I'm streaming one day, and then I get like I feel like, what am I doing wrong? Or I just can't find that one game on a specific day where I can get the right number of people. But then I tell myself, dude, don't worry about it. Stop thinking about numbers and things like that. And my Tuesdays are good. I do my Mario Kart thing, but maybe the next game I did, Luigi's Mansion, was just not my thing or something like that. I love the game regardless, but I'm trying to grow something where I can involve more people to play and game it together. Because sometimes it's just like if I'm just playing alone by myself, I think people find it more interesting to play with you, and we all do it together. But I'm trying to find myself more what can I do better? What am I doing wrong, if anything like that? But again, I don't want to start putting myself down in any way. But I think that's what I was doing recently, and now I'm just like, you know what, dude, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can, or think of something else that you want to do within, because I want to stay with Nintendo, and I love Nintendo. And as much as I want to play something else, I try to do a thing with Sony and things like that on Mixer, but then that just wasn't my thing. But I love my game with Nintendo, and whatever it is, I want to start doing videos and maybe more instead of just playing. Just again, I've never really done it where I talked about a game, explain more about my love for, my passion for that. My favorite game of all time, let's say A Link to the Past. I want to do something special and big for it, but I don't know what. I'll think of it. I'm trying to do something for Super Metroid, and this guy has this really cool mixed music, but I don't know if mixing music is gonna be good for, mix well together. If it's anything like, I try to add music to it, and it's just you get some type of copyright or something like that, and I got to be careful in a lot of ways, but I'm trying to find ways to make it better, and I think eventually I'll find my place along the way. That thing that's, again, Gamerz Realm that just popped up 2 months ago. We all just started doing this. It became something big for all of us, and I wanted to include some good guys to do this, and it seems like we found our place in something. I did find something else that I like doing besides just gaming this. Now it looks like podcasting will help out, and maybe it'll make me a better speaker in time. I'm just gonna grow. It's gonna start slow, and it'll climb itself back up. So yeah. So other than that, I feel great. I feel good, better than I felt before, and things like that. With the pandemic, I think I find myself even depressed at times. Oh, I was losing weight and I gained weight again, and I'm trying to, but I don't want to let those issues hurt me along the way. I keep thinking, do I not have a good image, or I can't let that affect me? I just have to. You'll get people. People come on your channel and they'll say, "Oh, you're too old for gaming," or "You're this and that," and I don't allow that. In terms of, don't let others control you. You have to control yourself, control those feelings, and make that channel work for you. Again, but yeah, that's how I feel on that one. Let's see.
Well,
Yeah,
Retro,
like-
go
like-
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Ray.
Like I said before, I wouldn't let the numbers put you down or anything like that. Everybody starts somewhere. I started with very cringeworthy videos, so I would say if I can do it from working from my bedroom, anybody can do it. All I need is the camera. Just set it up, start going, see what happens.
That is so true too, because like some of my most proudest videos I've done are the most cringeworthy on my channel, but I had so much fun doing them, and I don't even care if no one even looks at them. You know what I mean? And then Mr. Switch, I think you're a little bit too hard on yourself as well. Like, you do something really great there, and I think you just gotta just not overthink it and kind of just do your own thing, be yourself. That's the most important thing. Because I was like you, I was really worried about trying to grow my channel, trying to find a way to get views and stuff. And like now, I'm working 60 hours a week. I don't really have a lot of time to really focus a whole lot on my channel, but I have so many ideas I want to do, but not a lot of time to do it. And I thought it was really interesting, Raymond, that you said you work full time as well. So I have a question for you. So how do you balance your life versus your passion for doing YouTube? Because I'm trying to find a balance, and I'm really struggling with that. And so I'm not being very consistent. So how do you remain consistent while working full time?
Yeah, it's really tough. It involves a lot of sacrifice. So it involves a lot of missing family time, missing time with friends, to basically sit where I'm sitting right now in this little studio that I made, and just doing it. If you have the passion for it. I've always loved filmmaking. I loved video production. It meshes well with games and tech, and it all comes down to sacrifice. If I miss going to the gym one day, it's because I was filming down here trying to make a video. And it doesn't stop at the production either. It involves the marketing too, titling, tagging your videos and all of that. So it's a huge time commitment. It's a full-time job in itself.
Yeah, because when I first started doing this, a lot of people said, like, especially if you're doing a gaming channel, that you spend about 20% actually playing the games and about 80% actually like editing and doing the whole video stuff. And that really freaked me out because I didn't know how to do any of that. So I kind of just like self-learned, and I actually started really enjoying editing. That's like my favorite aspect of it. Like I love streaming, but like video editing is definitely the thing that I love to do the most. It just takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah. If I could plug a product real quick, it's the Elgato 4K 60 S Plus. It's the capture card, external capture card. You don't need a computer. I lay in bed and I record gameplay footage while I'm playing the game. It's sweet.
Awesome.
It records right to an SD card.
That's exactly what I use. That was
Is
one
it?
of the first things I got besides a Blue Yeti microphone when I started doing this channel. And I was like, that's the two things I needed. And so I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Sweet. It's so awesome. It's a game changer for me too.
Yeah, it's a nice product. I highly recommend anyone to get one if they haven't got one yet.
Retro Styles, you got something for us, my man?
Yeah, I wanted to first say something to QA. He hasn't been on YouTube very long. So I always thought it was cool how his channel's been just skyrocketing. I mean, we're not talking about numbers, but like, I was like, geez, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years, and this guy's got the cool, like, I don't know, you got the radio voice. So like you said, don't focus on numbers, but you're doing good. You're doing good, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I first started watching your channel, you had like 400 something subs, and in the last few months you shot up to like 4K. So I was like, it's pretty cool. So you got the movie magic.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I guess I just like to have fun with it. I haven't been able to do content as of lately because I'm in a moving process, and we just bought a house recently, Ray. So I haven't been able to make videos as of late, but I want to shoot back into it eventually and cover other topics. But a lot of the stuff that I like to post is just about stuff like I'm a big Sega fanboy, so like anything like Sega related, or sometimes I'll cover other stuff. But that's like pretty much it, I guess. But I have to get back.
So you probably really loved last week then, huh?
Oh, so about that, I didn't even want to bring that up. Well, I mean, no, last week was fun. I thought you were talking about the Sega announcements from 2 days ago.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
No, but last week was a lot of fun because it was Sega night. So I had my little Sonic the Hedgehog gear and all that fun stuff. That was a lot of fun. But Sega Genesis definitely dropped the ball 2 days ago with their announcement. The game-changing announcement. I'm like, seriously, Sega? Are you kidding me right now?
Nintendo did that back in the Game Boy days with the Game Boy Micro. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they thought that was groundbreaking, honestly.
Yeah, that was not groundbreaking at all.
The only thing that was breaking about it is I could break it in my hand.
Well, my first ever console was to be fair, as a Sega boy, my first ever console was a Nintendo. It was the original Nintendo. My older brother had it. We played Mario and Duck Hunt, like till the TV popped. We were like obsessed with Duck Hunt. It was such a fun game.
I remember going through the 7 of us boys at home, and again, my parents with their 7 boys, and we went through several TVs just on that system alone. And we went through different controllers, had them be, bought again, but again with different TVs. Like boom, the TV just went out. But that's like, what just happened? But through the years, it's a good time when your TV keeps breaking on you. But sorry, Dad, you bought us the Nintendo, and that's again just a little something there. Retro, did you have you had a topic for us, man?
I did. You know what's interesting? I've pretty much been alive since 1983. I say pretty much because I missed like 30 days of my life because of a surgery, but it's kind of interesting that Nintendo went from being like, they're still a household name, but they went from having like things like this that are console related, like you guys were talking about the original Nintendo. Okay. And then, Ray was talking about the N64. And
oh my God, that's such a good game too. Beetle Adventure Racing? Yes.
Yeah, that's a bad game right there. Beetle Adventure Racing.
Yeah,
I got Turok. Turok was okay too. You got Turok?
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting. They stepped into the handheld market, which I was showing you guys before the stream. And it's cool that they kind of took things to like the mobile level, which a lot of people aren't really too hot about mobile gaming. But it was kind of cool that they ventured off to do things like Mario Run and Mario Kart, and they have Fire Emblem, and you have Animal Crossing on mobile. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not like the greatest game, but if you're like a person who's into mobile gaming, that's pretty cool. That's pretty innovative to be able to take your product and put it into actual handheld device. Because I mean, just think about it. How many of us are actually going to carry our Nintendo Switch to work? I have before, but if you want to play a quick game, you have right there in the palm of your hands, you have something like Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Mario. It's pretty cool. But also in the same retrospect, they were smart to actually take things to the Nintendo Switch, because that I don't have a Switch Lite, but some people do. But they take it into the Nintendo Switch because this is something you can take any we take out. It was innovative that they're actually still porting over like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and hopefully in the future porting over maybe Game Boy and maybe N64 to the Nintendo Switch. They have some, but I'm talking like a library, kind of like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So at least, but it's pretty cool. That's just my dad grew up in that era, so to see how everything kind of changes, and a lot of people call it retro gaming, but to me, it's just gaming altogether. Nothing retro about it. It's just gaming for me.
Yeah, it's really interesting that Nintendo went from the N64 all the way to where they are now. You know, I mean, they're still behind the other companies, but I've always loved Nintendo, and I always will love Nintendo, just because it holds near and dear to my heart. You know, the first console and game I ever played, Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh, still one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy what they're doing and what they're continuing doing. I'm excited to see where they're going to take the future. You know.
Level 1 up. I got you right here.
Nice. The only way I can play that game now is on the Switch, unfortunately, because I don't have my original console anymore. But man, I'm jealous.
It still works too. All my cards still work.
And remember, like we thought, you know, blowing into them was actually how you got them to work. Well, apparently
It's not. I saw an actual thing on it wasn't Mythbusters, but it was somebody did a YouTube video and a Facebook video about myth busting, and it's just like it's the same aspect if you give a child a Band-Aid. It doesn't cure it, but they think it feels better. It's the same thing. Shh. You blow in the cartridge, stick it in, you think it's good, but it's actually all you're doing is taking it out and putting it back in is what the real movie magic is about.
That's right, man.
I was thinking of, go ahead.
Or a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of Q-tip and isopropyl alcohol. That'll work too.
Yeah. I always did it with the alcohol myself.
Yeah.
I just did it with my old-fashioned spit, man.
Yeah.
they said that if you're like blowing into a Nintendo or any cartridge, that's the spit would actually could cause rust to actually damage the cartridge. And I'm like, that's an old wives' tale, or maybe in our case, an old gamer's tale. I'm like, come on now. But I can see why that would be true.
What's interesting though is a lot of us have been doing that for years, and a lot of us still have the same games we had from years past, and they still work.
I'll tell you what,
it still works, man.
To Retro's point, cartridges I think of 30 years ago last longer than some CDs from like the PlayStation 1 and 2. Like those CDs, they get like scratches on them. They're done.
This thing, man, check this out. You knock on that thing, and that thing's still gold.
Yeah, built to last. They're built to last.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that's why they went from CD-based back to cartridge again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, the durability and the longevity of it.
And like not only that, like the rate of speed, the transfer speed between the cards that they use into the console is a lot greater than it was back in the day. So it kind of made sense for them to go back to.
And then it also for the portability factor of it too, because we remember the PSP then they have disc too, right?
They did, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and that didn't go over well with gaming.
And also, what's interesting is you look at the size. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh no, I was just gonna say when you're done, go ahead.
I was gonna say if you look at the size of this. And you look at the size of this, I mean, look at the comparison.
It's like the size of the 3 on the cartridge, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing.
You can fit 50 of these little things in there, but all this information fits into this little bitty card.
It's mind-blowing. It really is.
Yeah.
64 megabytes versus 64 gigs.
Yeah, even the 64, I mean, it's still tiny compared to that one.
Well, look at the micro SD cards. I mean, I have one that fits 128 gigabytes. I mean, and they go even bigger than that. It's crazy what they can fit in those little tiny things.
And you remember the old computers and how the computers, you thought you were cool if you had a 500 megabyte hard drive, and now you have larger SD cards than that in micro SD cards.
it's crazy, and like they fill up quick. It's
Especially for the Nintendo Switch.
Especially when you have games like this on the Switch now.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Freaking 64 gigabytes a piece, dude.
Oh, that hurts.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, Ray, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say this will offer up a little debate. What do you guys prefer, physical or digital?
Physical, all the way.
Physical.
I'm gonna be the one person to say digital.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
you call yourself
right here, look at.
How about you, Ray? What do you prefer?
I'm all digital here.
Oh man.
Oh man.
You know what? Lately,
all digital here.
I have been kind of lately most of my games, since of course the pandemic, the last few months, all my games have been digital. And it, you know what it is? I prefer to have the separate game, but then lately I have been kind of enjoying the fact that when I got the Animal Crossing Switch and it came with the special like SD card and extra this and that, and yeah, because I can't go to the stores. Well, recently I just went to the store for the first time at GameStop the other day, but for all that time I've been missing, I have been appreciating the digital part there because yeah, it does help you in a lot of ways. And my daughter took my Switch case with the other Switch, so I can't storage any games anymore, and I can play Animal Crossing with her now, but from Switch to Switch. But yeah, now I'm just like digital is probably gonna be the thing of now moving forward. Maybe I'm assuming, but it does help a lot. It really does help with, for that particular game. I know if I have to buy an extra memory card or so and things like that. And but yeah, a hard copy and physical, it is cool for its first part, especially the retro stuff that we get. But yeah, every now and then I do like I just like that little just hold that game right there, for a minute and then just from but again, yeah, I mean the digital is it's coming, it's gonna be there. And I just gave up my entire DVD collection since I was young. I gave it to my kids, and it took the whole thing, and now my movies are all digital. What Google's Play, I buy them, it's all saved on there. So that's probably what's gonna happen. I know your hearts are gonna start breaking, guys, but you're gonna have to start going digital.
I'll tell you what. I never thought I would be saying this, but back in my day, the hardcore gamer was all about, like, you were not hardcore unless you had the back of your like bookshelf was chock full of games and cartridges and CDs and all that. That's how you were judged as a hardcore gamer. But I can definitely see, the shift in technology. I mean, I'm in the tech field. I'm in IT, so I understand the need for a shift in technology. I think there will still be a need for physical copies. I think it will be a long time, maybe even a decade or so, before we see a full shift to digital. Because even like, to Switch's point, like, I don't have DVDs anymore. I stream Hulu, I have Netflix, I have my Fire Stick with all chock full of stuff. I don't use DVDs anymore. But I do have a lot of physical media, but I do, I can see why I also have some stuff that I bought on the PS4 store that's just straight digital. It's convenient. It saves space, honestly. The fact that you can play video games you can emulate games and store so much off of an SD card. It is convenience, I have to say. I think it does feel good to open up that CD, but I think the newer generations that never had that experience growing up, who never did get the chance to, have Mario Kart 64 and that beautiful cartridge, plug it into the N64. I can see why they don't care for that and understand why eventually the all digital will be the thing. I think it'll be some time though, because a lot of OG gamers are still in demand for physical, but things do change. I understand,
I'm gonna back up digital to the max, guys. I am sorry. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but let me tell you about digital. But digital, because so you guys see me, right? You guys see my face right here. My TV's right there, and my couch is right there. Tell me why I want to get up from my couch and like put an effort to go all the way to my PS4 to switch a disc. I do not. So the good thing about digital is that, like, let's say you're like, you're playing The Last of Us, you want to go to Final Fantasy. Great. You don't need to switch out a disc. You can just switch over to the other game. Same thing with my Nintendo Switch. Putting in a little cartridge is annoying sometimes. It's not like putting in like the N64 or the Super Nintendo. You actually have to put in some effort into it because it's so tiny. If you go digital, you don't have to worry about that. The only gripe I have about digital, I'm going to say this right now.
Okay.
Because I have a Nintendo Switch and my wife has a Nintendo Switch, and my profile's on both of them. And my wife has a Nintendo Switch where my main profile is on that Nintendo Switch, so she can play any of the games that I purchased, such as Animal Crossing, Pokemon, so on and so forth. So let's say I want to play Animal Crossing with my wife. We can't do that because we only have one digital copy. That's my only gripe about it. You cannot play online if you only have one digital copy with each other, and that's my only frustration.
So you want to have a debate, huh? Okay, I can defend the physical side of things.
All right, let's go. All right.
One up. Get him one up. Get him one up.
Now you made some really good, valid points. It does save a lot of space. I can see behind me, I have all my cartridges and all my DVDs behind me. I like that though, because I'm an old school gamer. I like having the physical copies. This is why I do it. You say you're saving space, but where it doesn't save space is on your actual console. You have to buy all these SD cards. And guess what? If you do not have enough space on said SD card, you have to go out and purchase another one. So you still have to get your butt off the couch or, wherever you're going, and you have to get a new SD card if you don't have it. That's the one point that I wanted to make. With your point with, having physical on your console, if your wife wanted to play it, the only way she can play it is if you're not playing your console at all, which is unfortunate. And you can't trade, say maybe your buddy has a game that you want and he has a game you want, you can't swap them or anything like that. It's another advantage of having physical. I think the one thing that I like physical over digital, basically is just, I like holding my game. I feel like I purchased something. Like if I buy something online on my console, I feel like I didn't purchase anything. Like I love holding these in my hand, say, yes, I got a game. I love opening it up. I love just, feeling the game going into my console. I don't know. It's just something satisfying about it. But there's pluses and minuses to each side. And, I think more and more we're going to see more digital just because kids want things fast. They want it now. Because guess what? I mean, this is the perfect example. I ordered that 51 classic games that came out for the Switch today. I pre-ordered that on Amazon. Well, guess what? They notified me I won't get it until Tuesday. Well, if I ordered it digitally, I would have had it. I would have been playing it. So that's kind of the one disadvantage of having physical that I kind of don't like about it still to this day. Or do you have to go to a store to actually get your copy? But I don't know. That's just.
I'll give you another argument about digital.
Ray, look what you started.
This is always a fun one.
He knew this was going to happen.
Fight had started.
One up, you actually brought up a good point for supporting digital, and that is the availability of having your game, or how soon you can have your game. Let's say, like you said, you pre-ordered a game and you're not going to get it till Tuesday because Amazon is running short or they're running behind on your order.
Not essential.
Yeah. when you pre-order digital, like let's say when Animal Crossing came out, I didn't, because I'm in California. I didn't have to wait until the actual release day to play that game. 9 p.m. on March 14th or March 24th, whenever the day they came out, the day before, I was able to play that game while everybody else is waiting for their physical copies. Another point that I'm gonna bring up is that if anybody's like me and they have very bad impulses on selling their games after they beat them, if you get a digital copy, there is absolute no way you can do that. So you can actually hold on to your game and not have any regrets in your future. Like let's say you beat Super Mario Bros. U, for example, and then like you go and sell it. And then you have like this regret, like, man, I wish I could pick this game up again. And, Nintendo games, they hold their price very well. And, for that $30 you made by selling at GameStop, now it's spend double that to pick it up again.
You also just made a good point for physical side as well, is that you absolutely cannot sell your game. It's say if you bought a game and you didn't like it at all. Well, now you're kind of stuck with it unless you just want to delete it off your console, but then you just wasted all that money. Can't get anything back from it. You can't trade it for another game as well. So that's also another disadvantage for the digital side that I don't like. Mm-hmm. But if GameStop goes out, then I guess you can't sell them anyway. But
well, hopefully with Reggie there, GameStop will stay along for a while. So
I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Okay.
But the one thing I like, I'll go both sides. Digital, I like because the eShop has tons of sales like crazy. Some games go on sale that were 60, they'll go on sale like half off, sometimes like 30 or 40. And then that's a cool thing. And then digital, I mean physical is cool because you get the cool like I like the cover art, the inside of the box. It's like one up said that satisfying. Oh wow, I got my new game. It's because that's what generation we grew up in. But I'm like 50-50. Digital's cool because you got it right there in the palm of your hand. Like Pokemon Trainer says, you have it right then, right now. You don't have to wait for it later. But physical says, hey, I got this cool disc. It's part of the collection. It's like that old school. I got it on my wall. It's my collection, and it's there to stay. But there's one person that I know. It's Woodhawker from Beat 'em Ups. He knows a guy that turns the digital games into a physical copy. So anything he buys digital, he puts it on a physical. So that's kind of interesting. I've never heard of anybody doing anything like that before. So it's pretty cool. Both sides are cool.
Black Pokemon Trainer. Is there any way I can get your hat?
I got it from GameStop.
Because it belongs to you, I'll trade you that for Pokemon Monopoly.
I know.
Oh.
I love this hat, man. I love it. I wear this hat when I'm doing trivia.
Wow.
We have some
This is my
appreciation.
trivia hat.
We gotta have a word of appreciation for Luigi because I feel like he always goes by the wayside. I've always been like team Luigi over Mario. Like for Mario Kart, I always pick Luigi. So let's appreciate Luigi for all the things he's contributed to NES, please. Thank you.
See, you have a Luigi hat. What are you
Team
talking
Luigi.
Yeah, just put it on. It's kind of going out. You know, I mean, I got my son's name Luigi, so we're good.
I will say this. If there ever is a Luigi option between Mario and Luigi, that's like, you know, like you can actually like select. I always do Luigi. Like let's say not Pokemon, Mario Odyssey. After a while, after you get like a couple of those stars or sprites, whatever they're called in that game, you get the ability to get Luigi's costume. And as soon as I got Luigi's costume, that's what Mario is wearing. That's it. He never switched to anything ever again, unless I need to do it to get a star. Thousand Year Door. There is a way to get Luigi's outfit in Thousand Year Door. I think it's in Chapter 6. After I got Luigi's outfit, that was it. Dang where Mario's outfit, dang where Wario's outfit, dang where Mario's outfit. Mario was dressed in green throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Period.
Awesome.
Yeah, when I play
Luigi.
when I play Mario Maker, I have a hard time switching from Luigi to the other characters because I love Luigi so much. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you on that.
Luigi on Mario Maker is cool because like he almost jumps like he does in Super Mario 2. His legs are always all crazy when he runs, so it's pretty cool.
If only he would jump that
I
high.
know.
I was thinking, I wanted to ask Ray, what does this take and feel on okay, your NES games, Super NES games on your Nintendo Switch? Is there something that you think they should have something more? Like I've been waiting for some games like where's that game? Where's Batman Returns? Where's this and that? Do you think that Nintendo's giving out enough, or they're just sometimes I feel like we don't get enough of the games that we want on the NES or Super NES. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you play it a lot?
I don't play it too often. I think for what they're giving for the price of the membership for what is it, like $20 a year, I think it's adequate. You know what they're putting out, but it's not really, like you said, the titles that people actually want or want to play. But I assume that also has to do with licensing issues, you know, because they're so old from back in the day. I'm just looking forward to N64. I really hope that happens.
Yeah,
I really hope we see them.
Oh man, I really hope so too, dude. I don't think they'll go as far as like do anything above that. Because if they do that, like GameCube or anything like that, they'll probably just make a remaster at that point. But yeah, 64. I want my Diddy Kong 64 or Diddy Kong Racing on my Switch, but I don't know if that'll happen.
Yes, we need that back.
Yep.
Wasn't that made by Rare originally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So Microsoft owns those rights. Dang it.
Speaking of N64, Ray, before they dropped the Origami King, there was a lot of like hubbub about the remakes coming out, like Mario N64. How do you feel about that? Like how it would possibly be coming to the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, I think that would be sweet. I mean, it is the 35th anniversary this year, right? I haven't really seen too much about it.
Yeah.
But if it is, it's great lead up to whatever the big thing is dropping, which is probably going to be the surprise, I would say, towards the end of the year, holiday season.
You imagine being
Do
Nintendo
you
though,
think that they
like having this huge. I'm sorry, dude. Imagine being Nintendo and having this huge blowout of all, all these Mario games, and then someone just ruined it for them. The surprise factor. I mean, do you think like that's actually possible? Like all those games might actually come this year. I'm kind of skeptical about it myself, but like, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, if there's remakes, I would say that it's definitely possible because it is the 35th anniversary and they always go all out for Mario. So if we see those, that's awesome. Like those are such good games. Mario 64, the second game that I've ever played, have such great memories with that. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun sitting literally right on the other side of my basement in my beanbag chair playing that game. To relive it would be awesome. And I don't what were the other rumors? You guys
It was
remember?
Super Mario Sunshine, the Galaxy games. I think just
Sunshine,
the first one. It
Galaxy.
wasn't the second one.
No.
And then this Paper Mario, new Paper Mario game, which now we know that that's true.
Yeah.
But if they did do that, would you just want them to do like the port the games, or actually like do like a HD remaster of them?
Good question.
Yeah, I definitely HD remaster would be sweet, but since they're not all on the same console, I was going to say that they would just bring them over in like the N64, app, with like they do with the NES and SNES. But since they're not all on the same console, I don't see them just bringing them over as they are. So I would say, if anything, it would be maybe like a remastered disc or a cartridge in this case. So maybe like a collection type thing. I have no idea.
That'd be nice.
I'm hoping is I'm sorry.
It's all right. Go ahead, brother.
I just have a lot of thoughts on this subject.
All right.
I'm just worried though that they're gonna release them individually for like $60. You know what I mean? Do you, like, what would you pay for these games if they did release them like individually?
Knowing they're Mario, they're definitely going to be $60
Yeah.
or so. I would say. I don't know. I mean, 50 at the most.
I mean, honestly,
just because I have that
depending on
emotion. Yeah, just because I have that emotional connection, we have that nostalgia that we love, and we always need that satisfying craving,
I mean, honestly, depending on the game, I'll be happy to drop 60. I dropped 60 on Twilight Princess when it came out for the Wii U.
Oh, please give it on the Switch, Twilight Princess.
Yes, I dropped 60. I dropped 60, or excuse me, 50 when Wind Waker came out. Like it honestly depends on the emotional connection you have to that game. Like I would never drop that much on a remake for like older games. So like Super Nintendo games and whatnot. But for like games that came out for the GameCube or like above, like if I have that emotional connection, like Ray said, I'm dropping some money on it, and I won't care. And then I'll worry about the regrets later. Resident Evil 3.
Hey Ray, what do you think of do you want, or just, I mean, the way I feel about Metroid Prime trilogy comes to Switch? What do you think?
Yes, I was actually about to boot that up. What was it, two weeks ago or a week ago? I pulled out the Wii U, and it required that I set up the sensor bar and the Wii remote, so I couldn't dive into it because I didn't have them. So yeah, I definitely want to see them.
Oh God, I keep hearing rumors about it. The rumors are popping up a lot recently. So then now they've stayed calm. All of a sudden, like, no, why they calm down? Like, this is what I want. Supposedly, from what I've heard, that someone saw something in another country. That game is coming out on the Switch. It's out in the manifest of a store that it was coming out on the same day as The Last of Us 2 from PlayStation, from Sony. It's coming out on June 19th, from what they saw. But I still can't be. Can that be credible? Or I'm hoping, or is Nintendo going to drop a bomb and just say, boom, here we go, countering that when something big comes out for another system, dropping that game will just counterattack on it, which I feel would be awesome. I would buy Metroid Prime trilogy.
Do you imagine like booting up your Switch on that day and seeing that on like the eShop just randomly? Like they didn't announce nothing.
I go crazy. I go crazy.
I mean, they would never do that because that's too big of a game. I think. I mean, they would at least do like a trailer or something. But I feel like Nintendo does sit on their franchises. Like I think they've had like some of these games finished for quite some time, and I think they were trying to get it somewhat close to the fourth game. But since that game was restarted, I think they kind of delayed it a little more. But I mean, I don't know. That seems like a perfect game to release this year, just because we don't really know what's coming out. I don't think Zelda's coming out this year. I don't think there's definitely not Metroid not coming out this year. So that could be a good choice.
Oh, Metroid Prime 4, right?
Yeah. There could be another. They could do Metroid 5, like a 2D, like a side-scrolling Metroid game as well. That's always another option they could do.
The
Hey,
only
guys,
thing they did for
go ahead.
Zelda was
Go ahead,
the
Rachel.
DLC. The only thing they did for Zelda was the DLC. I don't think they're doing anything farther than that. It doesn't look like it.
I don't know.
Guys, we're coming at the end of the hour. Do you guys want to ask Ray any more questions? Anything you want to throw in?
Yes, I have a question for you, Ray.
Yeah.
Like I just hearing some of the conversations that we had with you, I know you game a little bit beyond Nintendo. So outside Nintendo, what would be your favorite game?
Would you say one that I logged the most hours with, or one of all time?
Let's do both.
Let's do both. All right. So the one that I logged the most, one that I definitely logged the most hours in was Burnout Paradise, which is one that I'm excited to see come to the Switch. Actually,
Really?
probably next week.
Ooh.
That's
And
interesting.
that was on the PS3. I would say I put about 200 or so hours in it.
Holy
They
crap.
just kept adding on to that game. Like they just kept adding the different sections of the island, and I was like, this is great. This is sweet. Favorite game of all time, definitely the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series.
Nice.
And we
You
had
Yeah.
in September, my guy. You are excited.
we had some good times with that game, man.
Are you excited for the remaster of Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
Oh yeah, that's going to be the reason why I buy a PS4. Probably.
Oh.
a used one.
I know my
That's
wife was
awesome.
that's my wife's favorite game, and she's like, "Babe, the remasters." I'm all, "We got to get a PS4, babe." And she's like, "All right."
I had a friend that was
Literally a system seller.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was giving me some of his Nintendo 64 games, and he had one, but he was giving me a few of them. And out of the stash, this is like about a month ago. Out of the stash, he's like, "Wait, hold up." It was Tony Hawk. He just took that back. So, oh, dude. So he just took the original one away. But I don't know. I guess that's just too good of a game. And just like, even though how old it plays, it's still an awesome game no matter what.
And it's such a smart move too, because they know a lot of us have a lot of nostalgia for that series, especially the first two games. Like those are the only two that I really did like sink the most hours into. After that, it kind of went downhill a little bit. Like 3 was still good, but then 4, and I didn't really care for it. And 5, I just didn't even bother with it. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for those two games myself, and excited to see if they add anything or how it looks overall in comparison to how it did in the PS2. Or that was on PS2, right?
PS1.
PS1.
Yeah. Mhm.
Way original, yeah.
Do you think they're gonna have like the HD graphics, but you're able to switch it back to like the old school graphics as well? Because that'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, the polygons.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
I'm excited about the online. The online should be fun.
Oh yeah. That'd be
I am
awesome.
very curious about the soundtrack that they're going to use, because a lot of the music that was in the original Tony Hawk's was music from like actual artists and whatnot. So I'm wondering like if they're going to be able to get the same licenses for those songs, or if they're going to have to switch it up a little bit, or just remove a couple of songs.
I actually saw that there was a song list posted online, and there was only 6 songs that they weren't able to get the rights to. And that was
Okay.
it. The rest of them were mostly legit, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is cool.
Since on the topic of remakes, I've been advocating for a remake of Donkey Kong Country series. My favorite Super Nintendo series, Donkey Kong
Yeah.
Country. I don't know if they need if I want to do a remaster or a straight up remake, but like the graphics were so beautiful, and I think they're so beautiful to this day. So not sure how much they could really change, but if they do a remake of it for modern day, I'm pretty sure, man, that would sell like hotcakes. It really would.
Oh heck yeah.
I would like a hot cake right now.
I know how we're all
Got me
hungry.
hungry. You got me hungry.
We're in a strange, we're in a strange situation with gaming. It seems like they're into like remakes and remasters and collections lately too, because we're getting a lot of that on the Switch. I'm not sure if that's just because we're kind of transitioning to new consoles, and I mean, I like it. I mean, they can keep going. Get some of those old games that we love so much and get it on our consoles.
I feel like it's just a huge moneymaker. Just in general, like, hey, this is what I played back when I was a kid. And, now it's like remastered in graphics and like so on and so forth. But not only that, there are some games that are just extremely long that lasted like 3 generations, such as Kingdom Hearts. Remember, like every single game dating back from the one that came out in PS2. Now we're already all the way here on PS4, Xbox One, to where like, you can't easily get Kingdom Hearts on the PS2. So like they had to kind of re-release it for people can catch up on the story and actually experience the story. And then at this point, 20 years later, we have a bunch of new gamers that only play like the newer Kingdom Hearts. They never had like what we had back when we were teenagers with Kingdom Hearts 1 and so I feel like that's a big reason too.
Yeah, can you imagine playing Kingdom Hearts 3 without playing all the other games? Like that's just a sad life.
And also what's interesting is Nintendo took upon themselves to do a little bit of the Kingdom Hearts, because remember they ported it over to the GBA.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you had the GBA port, so you kind of, if you don't play that, you missed out on just a little bit of the story also. So it was pretty cool. Check that out.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, is that good? Are we any more questions or anything else you guys want to go through before we finish up tonight?
No,
I just want to let Ray know my favorite YouTube video that you have is that one where you save the cat, that series where you save the cat. It was pretty cool. That's my favorite.
Oh, thank
favorite
you.
series. Oh,
Yeah,
because I'm an
he's
animal lover.
doing very well.
I'm an
doing very
animal
well.
lover, so me and my
Awesome.
daughter were watching it, and she goes, "Dad, did he really save that cat?" And I was like, "Yeah, he saved that cat." And so she was sitting there watching the video progression. I thought it was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. He's doing very well. He's actually on the other side of town now with a good family. So the kids love him. The parents love him. It's just a really good story that worked out.
That was
Nice.
cool.
I have one more question for you before we close out here. So of all the videos that you've done over the years, like which one what is your favorite one, or the one that you're most proud of that you did?
That's a tough one. I've done so many over 10 years that it's like hard to like pinpoint just one, because I've always been like sitting in this spot, like editing different videos, trying to like pump them out. If I had to go back, I would say some of the ones that we filmed at the YouTube space in New York. We filmed some short films, me and my friends, and I actually did a Mortal Kombat remake where I kind of like stop motioned ourselves. We stood in front of green screen. We took like 300 pictures each, and we got our poses down, and I animated them together. And that was just a monster project, but I use that footage in my demo reels all the time, and it's one that just like it's always there. Like it's synonymous like with the work that I do. I think it's one of the best things that I've done, and just animating that thing took a really long time. So I can imagine what goes into making a video game, making a little like 15-second animation to like making a whole video game. It's like it gives you a little idea, like puts things into perspective.
That's crazy.
All right, guys.
Made a lot of projects. I was just saying, I've done a lot of projects with a lot of people, and it's been awesome. And I do appreciate you guys asking me to do this. I like to do things like this. So if you guys ever need me back or want me to come back, let me know.
We're gonna just for that. We'll keep you up for another 2 hours right now, guys. Just keep on going. I can go all night.
No, no. We have a curfew here. I'm not cooking dinner. We gotta go.
Luigi's gonna be waking. Luigi needs me.
Me
Yeah,
and Black
right.
Pokemon Trainer. Me and Black Pokemon Trainer gotta go eat dinner. It's our dinner time.
And it's almost my bedtime, so no.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Almost.
Me and One Up are on the East Coast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get. All right. The missus is gonna need me because right now she's watching the baby, so she's gonna need me to take her from here. Darn it, Ray. We appreciate you for stopping by, and you've been so kind and so grateful. As time has passed, you did that awesome video from E3 for me, and you just been, I don't know, you've just been incredible. You've been awesome, and I told the guys about you, and just what you present, what you show us, it's just excellent. It's a lot of inspiration from myself just watching you and and others, but definitely from you. I want to thank you so much for everything that you've done. You do a lot, for the community of gaming and everything else, because I know you do a lot of things with how you say with you did like one on that bike. What was it? That foldable bike? What was it called? It was just a lot of different things you do with cameras and all that. I wish I had the perfect. I used to do photography a lot, so you do that a lot too, and I need to definitely make you upgrade. But overall, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight with us, and I hope that maybe we can have you again, and in the future, or anytime you want to pop in. And let's say we do this every Fridays at 7:30, and you're always invited if you want to share along and whatever topics we have and things like that, and see how I know you're very busy, other than that, but appreciate you. I appreciate everyone here, all you guys too, for coming on. QA Ninja, Retro, Black, and One Up. Thank you guys too as well. But it was a great night. It was an awesome time, and I was looking forward to this. And I'm pretty psyched out. Yes, you can tell I kind of mumble a lot. I'm still like in that nerd stage. I still can't believe, it's just great. It's a lot of power here, a lot of Nintendo power and greatness here. And again, thank you again, Ray, for being here with us.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Like I said, anytime you want me to drop in, just let me know. I like doing this stuff.
Cool. You can help us out too, because right now, well, maybe you'll be the moderator next time. You can help us out. You'll guide us through, and we'll follow along and maybe we'll take notes, see how you're doing, and like that.
Yeah, whatever you want. I'll just get some debate topics like the digital versus physical.
Yeah. That'd be
right,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys all for joining here for Gamers Realm, and we'll see you guys all next time.
All right, guys.
Ray,
Have a great
thank you so
weekend.
much,
All right.
Ray.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Yeah, have a good
Take
one.
care,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let me end my part here and sorry, we're still live. Hold on, guys. Who's still on? For those who are still watching, thank you guys for stopping by.